Good afternoon. It is just gone 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. Tuesday the what? Tuesday 7th of April. This is Talking Bollocks, part 12. I don't even know. I think that actually looks like the right way round. I've decided not to change the sign bit though, because I kind of quite like it. It's Tuesday. It's quite a nice afternoon. I have had a proper sulking morning this morning. So beware, this is a bit of a moan post. It's not a moan as such. It's more like a kind of just exasperated. I've sulked. I felt a bit tearful this morning. And I think I'm probably not the only one that actually has felt a bit tearful today. I don't know. So I woke up later than yesterday. And yes, my arms are hurting from the yoga session I did online yesterday. So I woke up and there's the news that Wonk Fest 8 is cancelled. And somewhere in my head I had really hoped it was still going to be going ahead despite yesterday another gig in June being not cancelled but postponed to next June 2021. Punk Rock Bowling has already been cancelled to next May. Of which I'm just going to go because I have tickets and flights and hotels. So, but Wonk Fest 8, and they're all sad things, but they are being postponed. In the big scheme of things, it's not that shit kind of thing, I started thinking. And then I was like, actually, why don't I just feel my feelings about this? Because Wonk Fest is run by lots of different people, but Alex Wonk, who is the lead singer of Wonk Unit, started Wonk Fest some years ago. I can't bother to work out when. I'm sure someone will tell me. And this was supposed to be Wonk Fest 8 in the end of July. So in my head, I had that by Wonk Fest, we're all going to be allowed out again. And that will be one, like, I think in my head, I was making that the thing at the end of however long this is going to go on, the place where I was thinking towards, great, there's going to be Wonk Fest. Unfortunately, I totally understand why it's been cancelled this year. A lot of the bands that were supposed to be playing aren't touring now. And so therefore, it's not the only thing to be postponed or cancelled. But it is one of the things where I really appreciate Wonk Fest. I went to my first Wonk Fest so that would have been 2016. I had met Claire and Alistair. Hey, Claire and Alistair, who run the Wonk Fest buffet at a gig in the September 2015. Because somebody had taken me to see bands at the thing, and I had said to this person I wanted to get into more live music, sort of more alternative small gigs. And I went to met Claire and Alistair, and a few other people after that. And I went to Wonk Fest in 2016. Let me work it out. If it's 8 this year, 7 last year, 6, 5, 4, 3, no, 5. Wonk Fest 5 maybe. Someone will tell me, I'm sure. And so it was Wonk Fest 2016 and had a really good time. Met loads of new people, saw loads of bands, some of which I still listen to now and still search out now. And just after that, I then was approached by Claire and Alistair to come on board and help with the stuff. So part of Wonk Fest buffet was food was going to a food bank, and they asked me if I could come on board, but I could sort of run it how I wanted. And the idea was a women's refuge. For me, I had previously been in a domestic abuse relationship. I've never used a refuge, thank goodness. But it's amazing that they're there. And so I found a charity that had a refuge that is fairly, so it's Croydon based. I can't say where it is, but it is in Croydon, and they are linked to other refuges. So that first year in 2017 that I did, with the help of loads of other people, so many people brought stuff, and I was blown away. But each and subsequent year since then, it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Last year, £1,000 was raised to go to charity, and it went to 2 charities. One of them was Hestia, the Women's Refuge, and that refuge used it to take those women and children out for their summer thing. And I'll have to look up the other charity that it went to. it's grown for the last couple of years. We've had Button Up doing badges there, and they've raised loads and loads of money as well, which is amazing. So I'm sad that Wonk Fest isn't going ahead for me, but I'm also sad that, and I felt really sulky about it this morning, so I just decided to have a sulk for a few hours, because I always feel like it's this place once a year where I'm going to see loads and loads and loads of people that I know, all at the same time, all in the same place, and have this amazing day. And I'm sure there's loads of my Wonk fam that are feeling it today. And I've worn a Wonk Unit Dinosaur or Wankers t-shirt in solidarity with the fact that Wonk Fest isn't going ahead today. I sort of had a sulk, and the eldest child cooked everyone some lunch, which was really nice. And then I decided, as a way of getting myself out of the funk, because it's really easy to get into a mood and then stay in it. And there's nothing wrong with that as well, because, you know, in the past I've suffered with complex PTSD. I've suffered with depression as well, severe depression. And I've had, you know, moments in the past where I've been, you know, suicidal. So it's really important not to discount the feelings. But for me, it's really important that I don't let those feelings become everything that the rest of the day becomes, because then those feelings feed into other feelings, which feed into other feelings, which feed into other feelings, and it just becomes this whole tumbleweed of this one feeling starting here and then the next feeling and the next. I'm still feeling sad about the whole Wonk Fest thing, but I have vowed to somehow make a collection for the Women's Refuge when I can in July and August, and there has been a couple of lovely people already that have said that they will help and they will gather some stuff for the charity as well, because not only do we give them money, is that last year I had a people carrier 3/4 of the way full of nappies, toiletries, gift sets, hairbands, hairbrushes, cocoa butter, you know, everything that somebody needs, sanitary products, toothbrushes, toothpaste. And people often, and they have been the last few years, they start putting extra stuff in their trolley around this time to bring it in July. So I'm sure that, you know, I'm not the only one feeling it today. I love to do the Women's Refuge stuff. I would like to be able to work with women and children, but I think emotionally I would find it too much. And so therefore this Women's Refuge collection of stuff for them enables me to be able to do it one step removed. And I have a nice little warm yet emotional feeling that I can deal with when I drop all the stuff off to them. So at some point this year, guys, I will be doing a collection for the Women's Refuge anyway. Even if it's, you know, whatever it is, whatever we can get and whatever it is, I think, yeah, I know that I'm going to try and do that this year. I have met loads of friends through the little gigs that I've gone to see, and it was kind of the right time for me to immerse myself into music more. I've always loved music, and I believe music moves us, it stirs us, it helps us feel whatever we need to feel. It reminds us of times, good and bad, that have gone before, and it is quite special. And so since, you know, that first Wonk Fest, I've gone to a lot more gigs. And I've met a lot more people, and it's a wonderful thing to be part of something that is DIY and small, and although Wonk Fest is not that small, but other gigs are, and just like loads of people getting involved and having a good time, and often with the same sort of mentality on life as well, you know, anarchy in the true sense of the word, that is helping others and that we don't necessarily just take what we're told kind of thing. So my way of getting myself out of my funk was to actually tidy my room. So I've dusted and polished and hoovered my room, and I've remade my bed, just because then there's a nice space for me to be in. After I finish this today, I'm gonna be doing some more cleaning up, and some more other bits. Also, hang on a second. Some time ago, Danny Ballman, who was at Steel Point Tattoo Studios, while he was staying, and went and bought this. So I was having guitar lessons and I was borrowing their guitars on electric guitars, but I've got this crappy kind of very cheap, he's tuning, guitar that I started doing guitar lessons online with again yesterday, on some app that is on, because I use Guitar Tuner to tune the guitar, and there was some link to something called Musical or something. Eventually I'd like to have more guitar lessons with someone and actually sort of have online guitar lessons. So literally yesterday I just learned like these plucking of, oh, that's really out of tune, but plucking some of the bottom two strings and just learning how to move my fingers on the fret. I feel like I've just gone right back to the beginning. I'm not suggesting that anyone else learns an instrument if they have an instrument in the house. It's just something that I sort of started doing a year ago and fancied picking it up. My fingers are really hurting though from yesterday, so I guess I'm going to have to rebuild up those kind of harsh pads. I'm thinking about putting this on YouTube, but you guys will have to let me know what you think. I don't know whether it helps. I don't know how much you guys are, you're all watching or not watching. I had a look back at some of the videos, and one of the videos has like 160 views. So are people watching more than they're commenting? Are people listening to me talk bollocks? That's a really fascinating thing to think about. I've currently also really got into the new this Fox series, War of the Worlds. I like sci-fi stuff and fantasy, just because I think sci-fi and fantasy takes us out of ourselves a little bit. Although weirdly, all of these sort of contagious and virus things and aliens from other planets doesn't actually feel that different right now in the way that this is like an alien but one that you can't see. I do think this whole COVID-19 is very odd, and it is very hard to just stay in, isn't it? I have stayed in, we are staying in, but it is hard to stay in. And I think even though, other people do the whole thing of, well, I'm not saying that during the World War II they weren't brave, because they were, and they had to be, and it was an incredible moment in history. And this is a moment in history, but we can't do much. In a way, so that makes it quite difficult because we can't be proactive. We can't go and help unless you're a trained nurse or a doctor or somebody that is a key worker. Those people that are still going out running the transport links, key workers, care workers, people working in food shops, pharmacists, the vets that are all staying open, and the pet shops, all the things that we need to keep life going. It's I thank you actually, because just staying in is hard, but also the idea that you're going out and working in situations where you could catch something. And I do believe I read something that there's quite a few bus drivers that have sadly passed away, and that's awful. So in this lovely weather, I'm gonna do some more cleaning, and isn't that exciting, everybody? And I will do some of my practicing Aido in the garden again, because that's quite nice, although my arms are hurting after yesterday's yoga class. I will be meditating tonight at 7:30, I think it's on. And that's at the Korean Buddhist Centre, and they do have a Facebook page and a link on there. And there's a nice discussion afterwards, but if you want to take part of that, I think you have to now message them due to safety and passwords and things like that. But I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope that you go out and talk bollocks. Talk bollocks to yourselves or whatever. I heard somebody on the radio saying that they had been talking to their Henry the Hoover, which I thought was quite funny. And yeah, I think I have talked to inanimate objects. I'm in a house with 4 other people. So actually yesterday when I went out just to start the car for, to drive for 20 minutes, it was actually just nice being out with just the dog and me in there. Hello, Jan, darling. I hope you're okay. Missing my gin and tonics. Jan, hello. Say hello to Jan. She is a G&T buddy and a book group buddy, and kind of like she's sort of a mentor, I would say, of mine, because she gives me some really good advice, and that's really cool. So yeah, stay safe, stay indoors, and talk bollocks, my darlings. Speak to you tomorrow, part 13. What can I do? See you later. Bye.